Good evening. I love that. What a jaunty tune. What a jaunty tune to start off your Wednesdays. At Wednesday evening for all of us watching live. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're all top-tastic. And thank you for joining us at Absolute Football Podcast for the Absolutely WSL Women's Championship Show. That's right. You're going to catch all of your women's football news this evening. And tonight won't be just any night. Tonight, Anthony's here with me again.
He's
How are you this evening, Anthony?
I'm really good. I'm with you about that. That's the best music on the Absolute Football Show, the women's one. Absolutely wonderful. You can listen to that all night, can't you?
It's a crack. I do. I've got it on my computer from when I made the video.
Does it help you go to sleep?
I just jaunted around, and of course, it's not just me and Anthony. Not me and Anthony alone. There's somebody that knows even more than the two of us combined. The intellect, the knowledge, the journalistic wildings of Chloe Reynolds. Chloe, how are you this evening?
I'm doing really well. Yeah, it's going well. Very happy to be here again.
Really well. You're doing really well.
I'm doing really well for once.
Not just well. And do you know what? I think we might have, as if by magic, oh my Oakville fruit days. What is this?
Sorry, everybody. Hello.
He's here. He is here. Paul's here with his unicorns and the toys which he uses to leave his scent for his partner. If you caught last time I was on with Paul. That's a little treat for you. You're in the know. And of course, but it's not just us. Everybody who's watching, everyone that's watching in the background, we've got Cap Alid. Good evening, Mr. Alid. And Spenny Fan Chris as well. And James. And who else? We've got Simon. Good evening, Simon. Good evening, Johnny. And there's Super Duper Shah. Thank you for joining us there. And that's everybody. That's all in. And I don't know how. I'm getting myself echoing back, which
that's
is
me.
A pleasure.
See, I'm late. I'm breaking everything.
He's causing problems. He's a rabble-rouser, troublemaker. You're lucky they don't have you on a Thursday. That's where all the normal troublemakers go. But shall we get into it? Shall we talk a little bit of we would look at Simon Oakville Fruit Day? I am showing my age.
I still call them Oakville fruit as well.
They are sweet. And Johnny in the chat, this is the best way to celebrate his birthday.
Happy birthday, mate.
I tell you what, you've had my musings. Anthony, would you like to sing Johnny a happy birthday? Go on, Anthony.
Yeah, go on then. Go on, are you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Johnny.
Oh, God.
Happy birthday to you.
I tried to go bass then. That was bad.
And now we have no viewers left.
Look at that. Do you know what? All this is what you get when you're part of the Absolute Football Podcast family. You get birthday songs as well. Look at that. That is just beautiful, But let's kick off a little bit of foosball. And we're starting this evening chatting about Man City 2. Everton 1. The Man City unbeatable train just continues to roll on through the town. I mean, Chloe, did you catch that game, and how did that make you feel?
I did watch the game, and to be honest, saying this, I am actually very happy it stayed at 2-1, considering the first fixture at Wharton Hall Park was 7-0.
Yeah,
wasn't a good score. So at home, Man City at home 2-1. I will take that any day of the week. I thought Everton actually played quite well. I thought Hannah Bennison's strike into the goal was just absolutely...
It was superb. Wasn't that a goal?
She doesn't score tap-ins, does she?
No. Just scores absolute bangers, and it was just incredible. But yeah, unfortunately City won. But I mean, to be fair, Lauren Hemp's goal, she just literally curled it past Courtney, and it was just, you can't really be mad at that. And then obviously Bunny Shaw getting the opener.
Is she like the female version of Haaland? She's like a machine and just has to score. Is that like a law or something now?
Pretty much. And Lauren Hemp is so young as well. Like she's my age. She's 23, and she's so young. She's so talented, and she's gonna go so far in her career. Like I just think she's incredible. But City was so dominant. They finished with 70% possession and produced 22 shots to Everton's 5.
I know. I was going to say 10 on target as well. That's I mean, so well played by your keeper. Because that was pretty impressive. But I mean, even if you look at the passes, I mean, they had nearly over double the passes that you had as well, with a very high pass accuracy, 88%. It was fabulously well played. I did feel sorry for your keeper though on Hemp's goal, because I did think she's just caught a little bit too far to the post on her, whatever the left is. What's the left called? Near side. Near side. Is it, Anthony? Her front post. And she didn't catch it till late, I don't think, visibility wise, but it was a shot, wasn't it? It was a good one. And you already touched on Hannah Edison's goal, which I think that's like the only good thing you could enjoy from the game.
Well, I mean, I think the scoreline as well.
Yes. I mean, what was going on defensively? Because this just kept everyone, and this was a common theme throughout all the games that I've tried to catch up on as much as I can. There's a lot of trying to play out from the back under pressure, which you just shouldn't be doing. I think it wasn't the most prevalent in this game, but you're asking for trouble, especially with the striker with the pace and the power of Bunny Shaw, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. And Bunny Shaw is she's just one of those players where there's no getting past her. Like, she's she's like City's top goal scorer. I think she could end the season. There's only 7 games to go in the domestic season, and I reckon she could easily finish it as top goal scorer with the amount of goals she's got.
She'll not get an easy goal, though, will she? Everton, after the first 5 minutes or whatever it was, a back pass, wasn't it? So it's not the way to start against City.
Yeah, it was just such scruffy play out of the back, and then you just see it so frequently. I mean, do you think that is just a bit of naivety by some of the teams? Because there is a big difference between the top sort of 4 or 5 WSL teams and the rest. Do you think maybe that would work against, I don't know, like a Leicester or someone else? They're just getting caught short trying to do the same thing against a bigger team?
I think so. And I also think City have this, like, they've not only got the incredible players, but they've also got this incredible training facility. I mean, Everton also have a great training facility, but I do think it is that difference in the top 4 to like the bottom, however many, because Everton currently are 8th, I think. No.
Everton are 10th.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah, but then you weren't the worst performing in there. But I mean, in the chat, just to keep you debate, you'll notice that Mama Bear Freya isn't here to look tend to her cubs this evening.
Wishes she was.
She is, because I mean, we'll try and I'm going to have a quick look at the Conti Cup scores at the moment. But we've got in the chat. Apparently Arsenal are 4-0 up against is it, which is not, I'm sure she's not really enjoying it that much. A hat trick from names I can't pronounce. Stina Blackstenius. Stenius. There you go, Blackstenius. And I can't pronounce it.
You were close.
What's the other name? Frida Manum.
Frida Manum.
That's from one. There's an argument over her name, like a proper argument, because she says it's Mornum, but all the commentators pronounce it Marnum. And
it's like Kevin De Bruyne, isn't it? It's De Bruyne, and he calls himself De Bruyne. But every commentator, De Bruyne, no.
I'd go with what the
player. Learning that Stina Blackstenius isn't actually called Stina. Her name's Emma.
Yeah,
well, she's just throwing that into the mix just to put people off.
Everyone calls her Stina. It's actually not Stina. Her name's Emma Blackstenius. And it's like Stina's her middle name. It's like, oh, okay.
Just to sound even more exotic, because it's not like the last name does it enough for you, is it?
I think if my first name was Emma and my second name was Stina, I'd want to be called Stina. I must admit, It just
It's a cool
sounds
name.
better, doesn't it, than Emma?
It could be like Super
It
Stina.
sounds like a Lord of the Rings
You sound like a superhero or a mattress. What's your
Genius.
Stina Black Sidious. And in the chat, Charlotte's loving your mug game there, Chloe.
Oh,
Loving
thanks.
your mug
It's got giraffes on. It's from B&M.
Oh, there we are.
Oh yeah, free advertising as well, B&M. So don't chuck a little bit of favour over our way as well. And Simon said, like every commentator calling Hamer Harmer, Hema Harmer Homer, and the giraffes are Charlotte's fave. She loves a good giraffe.
I love giraffes.
But I mean, but that performance
still mentioning Gus Hamer because we don't in Coventry anymore. now he's joined the team that
they love it. It makes him very bitter. It's a very bitter factor that he brings up consistently on every show every week. So it hurts. If it hurts, it hurts. But I mean that performance that does leave Man City still pushing tweet at the tight, and we will pull the table up to take a little gander in a little bit.
Just very quickly before we move on from Man City, there was a new name on the bench for City on Saturday when they played. A young girl by the name of Poppy Pritchard, who is from the Northeast. She's ex-Sunderland RTC and used to play for Durham, and I'm quite good friends with her dad. So fair play to Poppy, absolutely massive move for her. And I think we all thought probably see her next season go out on loan or whatever. She's on the bench. It's absolutely mental. I mean, this girl was playing Tier 6 football less than 3 years ago. She's playing and she's on the bench now for one of the best teams in the country. If that's not a dramatic rise, I don't know what is. So fair play to her. I'm so chuffed for her.
Yeah, that's superb, and it's good that you're sort of seeing these names that are local to you as well.
That's it.
So you can one day arrange, you can sit it down, you can have an absolute interview. you and Chloe can bring her up, and she can educate you all about becoming a professional player in the women's game. But the next game we're going to look at was probably, I want to say it was the second highest attendance, or the record attendance in WSL games. I think it was something like 62,500 fans flocked to Arsenal Tottenham, the North London derby, which finished a very, very scruffy Arsenal 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. I mean, Paul, did you catch this game, and how did it make you feel?
I did, and it wasn't the same Arsenal that destroyed Man United.
No.
It was a very different, less clinical Arsenal. But, they got the job done, and that's the, honestly, I've been fairly critical of Arsenal this season on the pod, but that was the type of game where I started looking at them and going, yeah, okay, maybe they've got this whole title chase thing figured out, and if they can grind out results like that against a team who beat them last time in the North London derby, there was a question whether or not the goal itself was offside, but no VAR in the women's game, so we can't really dwell on that one.
There was a foul in the build-up, though, for me. I think there was a foul in the build-up as well, though, so if they didn't give it, from what I felt, there would have been a penalty anyway.
Probably evened itself out then. I'll give, yeah. And it was just Arsenal grinding out result. The one Achilles heel that it showed again, they scored 1 goal from 20 shots. That's not title winning form, like attacking, but it's particularly with their strikers. That's just
yeah.
But then they've gone and scored 4 goals in the first 20 minutes tonight against Aston Villa. So
compensating.
I'm not going to point out that that's with Stina Blackstenius as a number 9, but I'm a big fan of Stina Blackstenius, not just because she sounds like something from Lord of the Rings, but because of the way she spearheads an attack.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of good attacking flair at Arsenal at the moment. I mean, I would also argue as well they should have potentially had another penalty in the game against Spurs. I think it was the keeper what come out and wiped out one of the plays, which I don't understand how that wasn't given. I mean, I know officiating just seems to be bad everywhere at the moment, because surely, I mean, do you concur, sir? That should have been a penalty. The keeper come out and just smashed her. I can't remember who the Arsenal player was. Just smashed her out from behind.
Well, yeah, women's reffing in general. You don't want to hammer refs too much. obviously, because of various things. And I'm not one to hammer refs too much, but it has been noticeable that despite all the efforts to improve refereeing, there's still decisions like that where you just look at it and go, how has that not been given? I think if that had happened in the men's game, certainly you'd have seen the same, if it had happened for Nottingham Forest, you'd have had Mark Clattenburg on every media outlet going and all sorts of discussion. And I think maybe if Spurs had managed to get a goal, it might have become more of a topic. But I think as Arsenal won, everyone just kind of went, yeah, we'll just brush over that bit. But it is an Arsenal team that are starting seemingly to find their rhythm at the best possible time. And if they can win a few more, it's nice to have a 3-team title race, because normally at this point in the season it's maybe one, maybe 2 teams, or you're just waiting for confirmation. So it's actually nice to have a 3-team title race.
It's certainly not a 4-team, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. But I mean, I'm not sure if you noticed, there was an effort. I think it was while the game was still 0-0. One of the Spurs strikers had a beautiful effort, which just sort of the technique, the way that she sort of took it down and dinked it over the keeper and managed just to get it just on the crossbar. That was an effort, wasn't it?
That was Jess Naz. She is a player who I think should be around the senior England squad more than she is. She's a fantastic player, ex-Arsenal youth player, but was not getting the game time at Arsenal, so she went and joined Spurs, and she's really thriving for Spurs. And if that had gone in, it could have been very different, I think, because I think the nerves would have started to kick in, particularly with an Emirates crowd. And the notoriously forgiving Arsenal women's fan base going 1-0 down to Spurs at the Emirates. I think there might have been the odd wobble there.
It would have been certainly a different game. I mean, and Chloe, I mean, I mentioned earlier, I think it was something like 62,500 fans, 60,500 fans. What are Arsenal doing right to get so many fans so consistently to their games?
I think one of the things that not only they but the media team do well is they put out loads of content, and like they do loads of promotion. Like they get the players involved, they got some of the kit staff involved in the last video. Like they just promote the game so well and just manage to sell it. Like every other day there's a video saying we're at the Emirates, we're doing a game at the Emirates, we're doing this, we're doing that, and they get the players that they know that the fans love, like Leah Williamson. I know does loads of them. They get Taya to do them, and I just think they're so good at promoting that they can easily sell it. And plus they've got loads of recognizable names and players, like to top, like they've got Lionesses in the squad, and let's be real, who doesn't want to go watch some Lionesses play?
And do you think being in central London makes a big difference, or do you think that coupled with the fact that they're playing at the Emirates, do you think that makes a big difference? Do you think, say, if I mean, I'm not sure if the Liverpool team played at Anfield, do you think that would make the same sort of difference, or do you think it's because of the London base having a big impact as well?
Well, I know when Liverpool did play at Anfield in the Merseyside derby, because I went to that game, they had quite a big crowd. Like they sold out practically the majority of the 3 stands, because the top wasn't open at the time when I went. Like they got a really good attendance in. And I think being in like the historic stadiums do help, because they're so much easier to get to than say the likes of Prenton Park or Boreham Wood, where they play normally. And I think they're just easier to get to. They're also historic, and you know the history, and it's just incredible that the women actually get to play there now, opposed to a couple of years ago when they could only play in their stadium. And now they're getting to play in the big stadiums, like the Merseyside derbies at Goodison in a couple of weeks, and that's big things. This could be one of the last derbies at Goodison, and it wasn't picked for telly, which we're all still very bitter about.
That's crazy. I mean, do you think they'll carry it over into the new stadium when Everton go into whatever they're going to call it? Name I forget.
Probably Bromley Moor Dock, I think they'll call it. But I think they're going to continue this tradition, because every year the attendance has grown within the element of the big stadiums, as they're called. And like I said, Anfield has got a record. I mean, I'm not sure of it off the top of my head, but I know they got a big record when they played for Derby there. And I just hope it continues because it's incredible to see these household names now being like advertised and being shown on the big stage. Like you see young children walking around with Mead and Russo and Williamson on their shirts. And it's just amazing. And I really hope it continues. It's going in the right direction.
It's good that association of a team to the stadium sort of makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? And I mean, speaking of Liverpool, let's keep on theme, shall we? As Liverpool gave it to Aston Villa with a forward victory. I mean, Chloe, I'm going to stick with you because I'm sure you revel in a Liverpool victory. How did that one make you feel?
Oh, I love it.
In your veins.
Just through gritted teeth. No, to be fair, Emma Costovo scored twice, and this is their first back-to-back WSL win since October, which is amazing. Grace Fisk put them ahead after she got a free kick, and Sophie Roman Hogg headed it in from close range. What Beardy has done for that Liverpool side has just been amazing. Like they have grown from strength to strength under him. And because he left for a bit, then because he was manager first, then he left for a bit and then he came back, and they had a bit of a tough time last season. But this season, something's just clicked, and whatever they're doing, they should continue it because they are doing incredibly well.
There seemed to be a bit of team, a real good team spirit. It looked a bit more all together working, and again, it's similar. I like a team spirit. I'm not a big fan of like that them against us sort of one, but when it's us together, that's what I like, and that's what they seem to have there. I mean, you've got to enjoy a worked, off the training yard free kick, though. Surely you could tell it's like, I'm going to go here, then you're going to go here. Then what we're going to do, I'm going to pretend to come out to you, and we'll zip on. That was good to watch, isn't it? Give them credit. Give them the credit.
You've got to give him credit. So it's a clever little free kick routine, and they're just fun. So like you could see Von Damsler like proper kind of panicking, like I don't know which way she's going to go. Which way do I go? And then she completely goes the wrong way, and it's just it's just cool. And I think that's what Beardy, or Matt Beard, as he's known to normal people, but us cool like we know him as Beardy. I think that's what he's really trying to drill into these players, like those clean, slick routines, and it's just working so well for them. Like I'm really enjoying watching Missy Bo-Kearns and Taylor Hines play. They're two players that have been really on my radar this season, and also like Sophie Roman Hogg. Like I think she's been phenomenal. Like she's also quite she's not really a name I've heard much in the WSL, but she's just been so impressive. Like I was really impressed with her at Anfield. I was really impressed with her during this game. I've been impressed with the Villa goalkeeper, Daphne Van Domsler. Like since she signed for him, she's one of the big names that's been missing tonight in the Conti Cup that Carl Ward previewed. And I just think she's been amazing.
Which is still 4-0 to Arsenal, by the way, for anyone, because we are live. All of our audio listeners, we are live at the moment, and they're in 85th minute. I don't think the comeback is on for Aston Villa. I think they might be resigned to that. So it'll be the second game where they've conceded 4. I mean, what I did notice though, there was a lot of crosses that they struggled with. All the balls over the top, Aston Villa sort of seemed to struggle with. I mean, not being somebody that watches WSL very frequently, is that thematic for Aston Villa? Is that something they struggle with a lot, or is this just happened to be that game?
It's something that I think they definitely need to work on. Like they've had a couple of issues with it in past games, but Villa on a bad side. Like they are a good side. They've got some decent players. They've got some decent connections, and it's just a shame it didn't really work out for them. But Liverpool were just so dominant that it would have been hard for them to get anything else against them.
And what did you think? I mean, I'm not sure if you saw this, and incidentally, Paul, I'm still echoing fabulously. I love hearing myself. I'm like I'm the most arrogant tosser you'll ever meet. But I mean, but what I was going to say on the penalty, Malin, after scoring a penalty, decided to like shoulder barge the Liverpool player through the net. Are you all for that? Are you all for a little bit of handbags in the game, or is that just a bit silly for you? Our Chloe, I'm asking you.
You're asking me?
I'm asking you. Do you like it? Paul's on the naughty step now.
I mean, I thought it was a bit naughty.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit naughty, and I thought it was a little bit uncalled for. I can't lie.
Well, it's a yellow card you don't need then, especially as a right back. You don't need that yellow card just for shoving somebody into a net after you scored a goal is a bit.
They're just not worth it. It's just a bit petty, to be fair.
What was the score at the time? I've completely missed this. I'm sorry.
I think they was 2-1. I think that made it. Yeah, I'm just looking. Yeah, that made it 2-1.
I'm all for that then. I'm all for it.
I think she went to get the ball, and whoever the Liverpool player was sort of like just lent a shoulder in, so she couldn't quite get to the ball, and she just went, "Get out the way!"
Yeah, I'm all for that. I love a bit of shithousery.
Very Peter McCabe that was.
Yeah.
It was a bit. I mean, and in the chat as well, we do have joining us is Mr. Samuel, the super duper Ducks, who is now aged. He aged another year on Monday. If you missed it, Charlotte sang happy birthday. So it's like the happy birthday week so far. So make sure you tune in, because I think there is another birthday next week as well. So make sure you tune in for that one. Who's going to sing? Who knows? Could be anybody. And but he's look at this, all these lovely birthday wishes that Sam's getting, and all the interaction in the chat. And for anybody watching on all of our formats, we are live, and of course, feel free to join in the chat to us, chat to each other. If you're on YouTube, there's one hell of a back and forth on there, so you can catch us on there. But yeah, we've always love the interaction. But the next game, which one shall we look at? This absolute stonker of Brighton 7, Bristol City 3. I mean, Paul, how did that one make you feel?
Well, Bristol City are down. I think that's it for Bristol City. I think if you're conceding 7 goals against your biggest rival, you're going down, like unquestionably. But in terms of the game itself, it was 10 goals, absolutely mental. Something like 5 of them in the last 5-10 minutes, because it was. I'm just tracking the goals here. It looks like.
So it all happened from the 64th minute. It was, wasn't it? 64th minute. I think it was like Brighton, City, Brighton.
Yeah, it went something like Brighton went 2-0 up because Liz Turland, who I love, by the way, one of my football crushes in terms of the way she plays, scoring first. Then Pauline Bramer a few minutes later, and then Bristol got back to 2-1 through Megan Connolly. Tatiana Pinto made it 3-1. Brooke Aspin and Amalie Thestrup scored together, and suddenly it was practically 3-3. And then it all went mental. 3 goals in injury time for Brighton, which, you know, you can't complain about that, can you? I've seen a few great injury times in my time, but
injury
for that, like. And I think that just shows. I think Bristol City, they haven't got whatever it needs. I did read though this week, because they were reducing accounts. Bristol City's budget is 11 times below that of Arsenal's, because Arsenal's turnover was something like 11. Arsenal women's turnover was something like 11 million in the last season. Bristol City's was 775,000.
And it's a little bit. I do sort of feel for the teams like Bristol, where they haven't got the sort of backing of the ownership models that the sort of like the Arsenal, the Man City, and the Chelseas will. They are gonna struggle a little bit. So you almost want to will them to do well. But I tell you what, I did notice though, for all the goals they scored, didn't think Brighton defended very well.
They haven't all season, really. They're just
they were. It felt to me that they had a high line, and then when someone caught it, they all flooded back, like, going, "Oh, holy shit, let's get back!" And then they got back and left this huge space then from the sort of penalty area right there at the box at Bristol. And if Bristol could have got a bit more possession and a bit more opportunity, they would. That huge gap there was, it was just a little bit sloppy. I felt.
I think against a team other than Bristol City, it could have been like 8-7. Genuinely, like you say, the way Bristol the way Brighton defended. But what I will say, because we were talking earlier on about the work Arsenal are doing to get fans in, and they're doing great work, and but when you look at the differences in budget, Bristol have the highest average single venue attendance of a football team in Europe, of a women's football team in If you take out the Emirates games for Arsenal, they drop obviously because Bournemouth isn't that big. Bristol City's average attendance is something like 6,000-7,000 for a team that have only won once all season, and let's face it, are not very good at WSL level.
So trying to find a diplomatic way of saying shit, then, aren't you?
I'm learning diplomacy slowly. If it'd been certain other teams, I might have struggled. But Bristol City, I'm slowly learning diplomacy. But yeah, the work they're doing there will stand them in good stead for next season, which looks like it's almost inevitably going to be in the Championship.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm loving all the notifications. I'm very excited. Somebody is having a real good time. And, I mean, a 10-goal thriller. I mean, Chloe, did you enjoy catching that? Was anything that stood out in particular for you, apart from shoddy defending all round?
Oh, I did enjoy a 10-goal thriller. I mean, you don't see many of them these days, do you? It was quite
certainly not
thrilling.
7-3.
No, definitely not. I do have to agree that I'm really enjoying watching Turland play. Like, this has been her season. Like, every game she's either got a goal or an assist, or she's just played so well. And I'm just loving her play. I think she's absolutely incredible. And just while I'm here, Arsenal did win. They won 4-0.
So when Mama Bear comes back next week, just be delicate, be gentle. We'll just ease her in. So that Aston Villa conceded 8 goals in over 2 games. That's sad times. # sad times.
What I found quite funny about after the Bristol City game, the manager came out and said that she was both a mixture of angry, proud and embarrassed. It's like, that's me after every Saturday night. It's 3 very contrasting emotions, isn't it?
My wife feels the same every time we say, like, it's our anniversary. I'm just not sure how those emotions are balanced out. How equally
saying my wife said that, I literally went, "Oh God, no, it's going that way." So glad you didn't.
Were you going to say that? Oh my God, my wife says it too. All of our wives are embarrassed and angry, but subtly proud.
And proud at the same,
There's a bit of pride. He might be an arsehole. He's my arsehole. And I mean, Chris is saying in the chat, Bristol City, they conceded 45 goals and only scored 20. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. Do you think that might be the reason why they're bottom?
Maybe just a little bit.
So I think so. For reference, if Bristol City, anyone associated with the club is watching, maybe work on your defending and your goal scoring, and you'll be fine. Just those 2 things. That's it. Plain and simple. Yeah, I'll be there for you. Pure and simple, gonna be there. Next game was another game of just shoddy defending as far as I'm concerned. West Ham won, Manchester United won. I will ask you first, Chloe. Paul, don't worry. We will come to you about your bestie, Mr. Skinner. But Chloe, West Ham won, Manchester United won. How does that make you feel?
Do you know what? But Man United will be kicking themselves because their hopes of Champions League just got a little bit harder. But on another note, the absolute legend, the super sub that is Rachel Williams, netted her 50th goal, which means that she is now the 10th player in WSL history to score 50 goals.
I've got to be honest. One thing I will say with Rachel Williams, now I'm pretty sure earlier on, 2 or 3 games ago, she got carded for jumping in front of the keeper when they tried to kick the ball out, which is the right decision. By the law of football, that's the right decision. However, in this game, she did the same thing again, and everyone was like, oh, she had a chance to win it at the death. I was like, no, she didn't, because she did it. I would have been outraged. How did that happen? Surely that's not right, is it?
Oh, but does anyone know the rules anymore? Because in the Everton game, Justine Van Havermaet got a yellow card for a handball, but she did that because the ball was going directly to her face. So she did that to obviously protect her nose, and she got a yellow for it because it was a handball, which I get. It's a handball, like, you know.
Yeah.
Also, what else was she meant to do? Just get a broken?
That was because I did see that because the commentator going, oh, I think there were hands in the way then. I was like, yes, but there's her face. It's like, that's okay.
Like,
that's all right.
Like, yeah, it was a handball. I understand handball, but what is she? Is she meant to get a broken nose instead? Like, what is she supposed to do?
It's like this vindictive arseholes in the officiating thinking, no, we just want to see her stand there and just go, take it, cut off.
This is a genuine question. Like, so who knows what the rules are anymore? Because I definitely don't. Because if protecting your face is like a handball and a yellow card, then
yeah, because I thought it was like hands in an unnatural position. So
yeah,
if a ball's streaming at your face or your genitalia, I think that's okay. That's natural. It would be unnatural if you stand there, it's like, come on, give it to me. Just smash me.
Like I'd fully, if a ball was coming at my face, I'd try and protect it. Like I'd be there like that. And that's what Justine was doing, and she got a yellow for it. So Rachel Williams in non-yellow, I'm confused. I don't understand the rules of football anymore.
They just don't matter. But she was again secret weapon for Manchester United, and she's just saving. I can't remember. I think Paul's saying how many points Rachel Williams has probably saved United. Oh look, and Anthony's got his dog.
2 of them.
Oh, look at that.
That's a beauty, that is.
She's been crying for ages. Sorry for being here.
Oh, look at that. Look at the love. And they call it puppy love. Oh, look at that. Now, get out. You've had your fill. Oh, dear me. Sam said we play by our own rules.
The other one as well.
Look at that. They're all loving a bit of Ant. Do you know what? They kiss you the way I wish I could kiss you, Ant. I'm so jealous. And Sam said we play by our own rules. We do. We do it.
I can't wait for the end of season meetup that we're having on the absolute lower league. It's gonna be us 2 in a corner and
He's just be savage. I got, I've missed you a little.
Karaoke booth or something.
But football. Anyway, back to football. Enough licking Anthony's face. I mean, Chloe. I mean, the West Ham again. There were another one's caught out playing it out from the back. Well, and it was such kamikaze. I mean, it's a little bit like, I don't know if you play FIFA, but certainly when I was a young man, about 20 odd years ago, legitimately playing FIFA, when you pass out from the back, and if you're playing your friend, eventually they'd figure out that you're doing a short pass to the right back. And it was a little bit like that, because you looked like you're the West Ham keeper who had a United player next to her, then a defender in front, then another United player just to the left. There was like 4 United players in their own box that you tried to play a short ball out. What is going on? That's what's happening there.
It makes no sense. Like she passed it to Katrina Gorry, Mini, and I think that Katrina Gorry's been really like she's been clinical for West Ham this season, but we all know the true MVP is her daughter Harper. Like it's Harper's world. We just live in it. But no, I think that Minnie's been so good, but I just don't understand why. I don't understand the decision to do that because as soon as like Gorry got it, Zellum took it right back off her. So it was like there was literally 0 point in that.
I mean, it's a little bit like, I mean, I've been rewatching Friends recently because I have an exciting life. And, the episode where they all play football and Rachel's like, give me the ball, give the ball to me. And they throw the ball at him and all three of the guys went out there going, ah! That's exactly what happened. Like, why invite that sort of pressure? I mean, that was quite disappointing. I mean, did you expect more from West Ham?
I did a little bit. Like I thought that West Ham they came close so many times to getting another goal, and I mean this season they've signed some incredible players. Like they've got Minnie, they've got Christy Mewis playing for them, they've got some incredible signings, but I just don't feel like they're utilizing them in the way that could help them. Like these signings were made to help them get out of the relegation battle, which they're doing, fair enough, but you just expect more from a team like West Ham, which have been so clinical last season. They're just not performing this season. I don't know if it's because they've had multiple different managerial changes this season because they've gone from having interim to they've now got Rhian Skinner as like their permanent manager, or they're still trying to figure out the waters, if you will, about how it works, how it doesn't. But there's something's just not clicking for them.
It's just not right. I mean, and just quickly jumping into the chat, Simon said, don't know if they still do it, but I should audition for the X Factor, or it would have to be The Voice, because if they looked at me, I ain't getting through that audition round. And joining us in the chat was Kieran. He might be an arsehole, but he's my arsehole, is the first thing he heard. This isn't a segue, but Paul Mark Skinner over at United.
Seamless.
Not intended, honestly. I didn't deliberately wait to bring that comment up just for this segue. But he's sort of costing them. He's costing United at the moment. Do you think, or is this something else?
Sorry, you can't feed me lines like that about Mark Skinner. I'll get myself in trouble. Like, yeah. Again, just the man's incompetent at this point. Like, he obviously decided that Rachel Williams has got him out of jail so often. If he started Rachel Williams, he
won't get in there.
He won't even get into jail, and it kind of worked because obviously Williams scored. But again, just the thing I don't get about him is how every game he'll come up with very similar excuses. He'll talk about things like, "Oh, we haven't got the players to match Arsenal, Chelsea. We need more investment." You've got the world record fee for a goalkeeper sat on your bench who hasn't played a single WSL minute. Like in Fallon Tullis-Joyce, as an example. You've got 2 Spanish World Cup winners, both of whom you brought on. And it's like...
Yeah, they take time, though. They take time to acclimatise, Paul. Didn't you know?
Well, apparently... we can talk about Chelsea. I was impressed with Katerina Macario because she took 624 minutes less than the average time playing for Chelsea. You know, so she must be really special. So, but yeah, I think every week there's a new thing showing him up, and I think this time round it was Man United's defending for the West Ham equaliser. It was a great pass from Emma Snurler, but just the running. I think it's Hannah Blundell, the United right back, who just gets caught out completely because they're all too narrow and stuff. That's systematic at this point. Man United are on course for their worst ever points total, and I think that's unforgivable at a club like Man United. Like, genuine. I'm trying not to get too angry on behalf of Man United fans here.
I can see you holding yourself back there. Mentally, you're going, no, Paul, no.
I'm like, and talking about Michael Beale. I'm just like ready to go here. Yeah, if he lasts beyond May, if Ineos keep him beyond May, I think there are some serious questions to be asked. Because
I mean,
yeah,
there's a good chance they can be overtaken by Liverpool.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And
This is a Liverpool side that's been in the WSL for what, 20 months?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's mad. It's absolutely
And
mad.
they were a bit like that at the start as well. And United were started sort of stronger and seemed to have been waning off, like you said, for one of their worst points total. And what sort of impact is it going to? I mean, if they finish fourth, that's outside. Is that outside of a European place then?
Yeah.
What sort of impact do you think that'll have on the squad next season? Somebody knows. They've just told you.
I think Earps is gone.
Yeah,
because
she's off.
She'll be off. Ella Toon, I think if Ella Toon wasn't a Mancunian, she'd already be gone. I think you've got that kind of hometown girl thing holding them there.
I could just got songs in my head, so I'm going, hometown girl. She's still playing in a hometown world.
But just you never know when the singing's going to come out, do you? But yeah, as Chris says, Man United and Liverpool are on the same points now, and I think Man United are dropping more points than Liverpool, and I think, there's not so much as lost the dressing room as he's thrown it into a different universe at this point. He's not on the same planet as most people, it appears. And I don't think even his mates in the media can defend him at this point. I think if he stays beyond May, there will be serious questions for the owners to answer. And I think that's the nicest possible way I can put it, because if I keep going, I will get into trouble.
I just love watching. I could see the fact that you're sitting there thinking, now, how can I say this rationally? No abuse. Yeah, and it'd be great for Liverpool. Obviously, as a Liverpool fan, that would be great to see, because that'd be a great end of the season if they were to come up and take over. But tricky times for Manchester United at the moment. But that takes on to the last game of the WSL that we'll be chatting about. Was I don't want to be mean, but predictably, Leicester 0, Chelsea 4. Chloe, how did that one make you feel?
Do you know what? I enjoyed it. Chelsea also play tomorrow, so I'm kind of hoping that the short turnaround from Thursday to Sunday ties them out for our FA Cup game against them. So I'm thinking tactically now that I hope they get tired. But I enjoyed it. Again, as predicted, Chelsea ended up winning 4-0. Kat Morokoro scored on her return from injury. She had 20 months out with an ACL.
Yeah, that was good to see, wasn't it?
It was incredible to see. And she also scored quite quickly after she came on as well.
Yeah.
Which was great to see. And you wonder if she's going to prove that key link now that obviously Sam Kerr's out for the season with her ACL injury. It's typical, isn't it? You get one ACL back and then another ACL goes. It's like...
It's the circle of life, and it moves us all. There we go. There's another one.
The circle of ACLs. No,
and it hurts us all.
It does. So you do wonder if Ramirez and Kat are going to be that crucial link to obviously Kerr missing and then a few other players. But what I was really pleased about was seeing Natalie Bjorn score her first goal for Chelsea since she signed for them in the January transfer window.
Is she the number 9?
I think she's 18. She's just recently signed she signed from Everton, but I've made no secret about how much I love Natalie Bjorn.
Is she who's the really tall one that scored a goal early on? I think that's Natalie Blunt. She's really tall. Look like she's just bossing everyone, just like get out of my way. This ball and goal is mine.
Yeah, that's our Nat. And I miss her daily, but
not that tall, but that tall.
I miss her daily, but no, I'm really happy to see her thriving at Chelsea, and she's obviously scored a goal, which is incredible to see. Gurrighton came close after the first 30 seconds of the game, which kind of shows you all you need to know about the game, doesn't it? If they're scoring within the first 30 seconds, you just know it's going to go well for them. But yeah, we're not surprised by this at all.
And in the chat, I mean, we've got James. James was there. James was at the game. But this will mean more to you guys than me. Alexander said during the Chelsea set, when I talk about the midfield, I believe Chelsea looked better without Kurth, but all their big losses included her. Somebody who watches more than me will have a better say than that. So, Paul, Chloe, what's your input on that?
Well, Erin Cuthbert.
Do you think they look better without Cuthbert?
Ooh.
Has he watched Chelsea? Genuinely? Like, I don't. It's an interesting opinion to have that.
Means nothing to me. I don't watch often enough.
I think that genuinely, Erin Cuthbert is one of the best midfielders in the world.
Yeah.
Like, unquestionably.
The world.
She is like Leah Valti for Arsenal. She makes Chelsea tick a lot of the time. She puts that steel into the midfield that Chelsea have and allows all the stars to shine, if you like. Possibly you could replace her with Sophie Ingle. Possibly you could replace her with Melanie Leupolz, but I think to say that Chelsea look better without Erin Cuthbert is an interesting opinion. You might.
I mean, how many losses have Chelsea had? I'm looking at the league. I can only see 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I don't think any of them can be pinned on Cuthbert. I think they're team losses. I think. The Arsenal beating Chelsea 4-1 wasn't Cuthbert being rubbish. It was Leah Valti being absolutely dominant in that battle, along with Kim Little. And that's the level of player that you need to put up against Erin Cuthbert to have a hope of beating her. So, what I do think, because obviously there have been discussions over Sam Kerr. And I did wonder, I saw someone say that all of this process and everything, obviously with her being injured, it's probably the best time for it to happen. But also, Myra Ramirez, to me, is the future of Chelsea's attack. Like, Chloe was talking about her and saying how good she was. She's one of those strikers that looks absolutely unique. Like, she's got pace, strength, power. She's a bit of a shithouse. And, like, her first goal against Leicester was just the way she outmuscled the defender. She's just... She is going to be Chelsea's future. And yes, Erin Cuthbert will lose the ball in midfield occasionally, but I don't think there's a single midfielder that hasn't done that. I think Leah Valti will do that. I think... Jess Park will do it. I think Yui Hasegawa will do it. I think it's the hazard of being that anchor in midfield, and I think with Cuthbert, I think if you ask most Chelsea fans, they will say Chelsea are better with Erin Cuthbert in the team than without.
Yeah, and I think sometimes if you can point to an occasion, I think that's quite telling. When there's one thing there that stands out, it stands out because it's one thing, and it's not the norm; it's the exception. But I mean, they're obviously they're very dominant again this season, Chelsea. But Man City are really sort of really pushing them. And if we pull up the table there, so they're level points with Man City. I think I'm just going to double check the form guide. Man City are ahead in the form guide at the moment. And I don't know. You'll know better than me. Has it been this sort of pressure consistently in the title race this sort of late on in the season previously?
Yes,
Not by
sometimes.
two, was there?
I mean, the past couple of years, it's gone down to the final day for a couple of teams, both the top and the bottom of the table. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Man City are like challenging it, so it could be anyone's game this year. Still 7 games left, so it's still wide open for it to change.
And I like the fact, like the top 3, that's a proper challenge at the moment, isn't it? And did you think Chelsea's are they still in the Champions League? They aren't they?
Yeah, so Chelsea and City are Champions League, and Arsenal go to the playoffs.
So do you think Chelsea's are they going to be able to keep their eye on the ball, or do you think they might? Is that temptation to think it'd be nice for the Champions League instead, isn't it?
I hope so, because Chelsea have won it for the past 4 seasons. So, and they're on the Emma Hayes farewell tour at the minute, so they're hoping to win every single trophy they can. So hopefully they can get it all and they can win it all and see her off properly. But it just depends. We can't take the foot off the gas. We can't stop. They just need to keep going and not look at the competitors behind them.
I think if it asked Emma Hayes, what would you like to win before she departs, Champions League or the league? I think it's an interesting answer, to be honest.
Yeah, because I mean, like Chloe said, they could have it all if they like. But I find it intriguing because, like I say, if it's her last season, obviously she's dominated the WSL for so long with Chelsea. If that's an elusive Champions League, could it be potential? I mean, the game before, I'm just looking at the fixtures. The game before the first leg of the Champions League quarter final is against Arsenal, which and it's only like 4 days before the Arsenal game as well. Would you be tempted? Do you think she's going to be tempted to sort of say, do you know what, I won Ajax, I maybe rest up against Arsenal, and which that could be a difference maker, or am I just being a silly Billy?
No, she isn't backing off. She'll want everything, and I think Chelsea are like just relentless. I don't think they're backing off against Arsenal. I think if Arsenal were 5, 6, 7 points back, maybe, but 3 points back, not a chance. Emma Hayes wants everything.
She wants it all, and she wants it now.
The only thing she hasn't got is the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean that's what I didn't know. I didn't know the character of the lady, if she was going to sort of, have that conservativeness, or just think, stuff it. It's my last season. I'm having everything. You're all having it, and you're taking it, mother duckers. I said duckers with a D. By the way,
I think if Chelsea get out of March and they're still top of the table, they're winning the league, because their March is absolutely brutal. They've got a game like every 4 or 5 days throughout March. So if they're still top of the table at the end of March, they're winning the league.
I'm just looking to see. I mean, they've got United on the last day, so that's nice. That you could comfortably say that would be a nice one to finish on if it comes down to it. I'm just trying to look to see sort of like who they play big teams wise. I mean, obviously they've got the game against Chelsea against Arsenal. I think that's about it, really, unless you think Tottenham can cause them any troubles. Tottenham and Liverpool, the 3 big games. I mean, as it's set, if you were to call it, Paul, are you calling Chelsea for the win for the league as we stand?
If they beat Arsenal, I think they win the league.
You, Chloe?
Yeah, I think they're going to make it a 5th and win it again.
How about you, Ant?
I want City to win it.
You know what?
This one's so different.
I was literally about to do the Rock and cut you off and say, it doesn't matter what you think. I didn't know if you'd appreciate it. but I mean, that's the league table as it is. So Chelsea are top with Man City both on 37 points. I think if memory serves, a goal difference is there's 3 goals. There's 3 goals and the goal difference separating them. So very, very tight at the top. Every game counts. Every battering that you can hand out is going to be vital at this stage, which is why I bet City were a little bit disappointed to concede that wonder goal against Everton. So Arsenal in 3rd place on 34 points. United 4th on 24 points. Liverpool are on 5th on 25 as well. Tottenham are 6th on 19. Leicester are 7th on 16 points. Aston Villa joint on 16 points. Also then Brighton and Everton are both on 14 points. 11th place is 12 points is West Ham. And then at the bottom on 6 points, Bristol City. I mean, in a one-word answer, is this recoverable or is it curtains for Bristol City? For you, Paul, are they done?
I've seen greater escapes, but I don't think Bristol City are pulling one.
How about you, Chloe? Do you think City are pulling one?
Yeah, I think this is it for them. Like the final curtain has been pulled.
It is, and I know it's time to go. At the time they play the final curtain, and now the time is now. Here we are in the championship.
Here we go.
Anthony has been patiently waiting. He's here to support us specifically on this league for reasons I'm not sure about. I'm not sure why he'd be so excited about the championship at the moment, but why everyone at the pod is happy. Our adopted team, Lewis, won a game!
Yes.
2-1 against Sheffield United. I mean, we'll start with you then, Ant. How did that game make you feel?
The Lewis one, I was really, really chuffed for them as everyone in this podcast all wants Lewis to stay up. I want Lewis to stay up for one reason and one reason only, that I want to go to the dripping pan, because it's just a wonderfully crafted name. What a magnificent result. They needed to win that one. They're obviously, they're down at the bottom and they've got to be beating the teams around them. And Sheffield United are very, very, very quickly getting sucked into that. And I think we all want to see Sheffield United go down because of certain reasons. But yeah, fantastic couple of goals for Maria Ferrugia, who is excellent. So great to see Maria getting a couple of goals for Lewis. It's opened it wide up at the bottom. You know what? I can see them getting out of it. They've got games that are winnable. They're playing next week, because one of their games has been rearranged. They've got Blackburn, I think, next week at home. And that's a horrible place for Blackburn to go in midweek, considering Blackburn aren't a professional side. So that could be the game where they kind of get out of that relegation zone. And then, like I say, they've sucked in Sheffield United in. London City Lionesses are well involved in it, even though they won the other day against Reading. But that leaves Reading are in there. Reading have got games in hand, but they've got to win them. It's going to be such a tight end of the season at the top and the bottom. But yeah, well done, Lewis, and hopefully, we'll see you next season, but we might go up. So it'll be just my luck. Lewis stay up and we go up, so we'll be able to go in the pan. But Monday next week, Blackburn versus Lewis. That's going to be a fantastic game.
Is that Ewood Park as well?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So that kind of nabs me saying that's a hard trip for all the Blackburn to go, because I thought they were away. I do apologise, but still, if Lewis can win that's going to set it up very, very nicely for the end of the season, and it could suck Blackburn. And even I don't think Blackburn will get, Blackburn probably pick up enough points to steal, but they'll be looking over the shoulders, I think, if they lose that one.
They'll be looking back over their shoulder. Mike and the Mechanics. Yeah. Whoa, come on. The old ones are the best ones.
Mike Rutherford, get up
there. Paul, I mean, did you enjoy seeing Lewis go? You must have enjoyed Lewis winning.
Particularly against Sheffield United, yes. For reasons that anyone who watches women's football will be fully aware of. And Sheffield United, like Chris says, have got Watford next.
Mm.
And
they've won the last 2 games as well, haven't they?
Watford are starting to haul themselves out. So, yeah, I think it's just everybody loves Lewis. That's what it is. Just everyone hopes they stay up.
And we are followed by the, I think, the owners and the management team in Lewis as well. They do follow the podcast. If ever you watch it, why didn't you come on? Why aren't you here? You could come on. If they survive, if they stay up, Lewis, you should come on. You should tell us all about this incredible journey that you've had this season, and so everybody can see why we love you so much.
I'm fairly sure I could get one of the Lewis owners on here. Like, I could get Ash on. Fairly sure I could get Ash on.
Yeah, well, the fact that you haven't yet, I'm a little bit peeved off with you.
It's only my second show, Josh. Come on.
And Sam in the chat, everyone loves Lewis. The spin-off we all need to Everyone Loves Raymond, because not everyone did love Raymond, but everybody does love Lewis. We do. So you heard it here. Come and join us at some point, and it'll do something for us. I'm sure. If not, we'll just be really. I won't lick your face when we see you next.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
How do you like that? But takes on to the next game, as you've already mentioned, London City 2, Reading. Huh? Only joking. I know it's really Reading. London City 2, Reading 1. Paul, how did that one make you feel?
Amazed London City won a game. But that again... That's really interesting because their new manager, they got the new manager bounce out of that because they've got Remy Allen as their manager, a player for Birmingham City until about 3 hours before she was announced as London City manager. She is one who Freya will love as well. She's a former Villa player. So if Freya was here, she might sneakily back London City a little. But yeah, the new manager bounce for London City against Reading. Like Ant says, Reading have got lots of games in hand, but they'll still look at that and go, we would have wanted 3 points on that, because I think if Reading had won that, they were probably safe. So it was a cracker. If you can see, by the way, the winning goal from Emma Mitchell, 35-yard thunderbolt for London City. Absolute. I'll go so far to use the rarely used word thunder bastard for it, because it was a proper...
All I can think of is thunderbolt, which is Thundercats. If anybody's that old, Thundercats. Look that up, kids.
I was just like someone referencing Thundercats. You know,
don't you want me lying though? I've got you lying though.
See, Chloe's just sat there like, whoosh. Everyone, all the rest of us are sat there like, yep.
It's like, what's going on, Grandad?
Going straight over my head, not gonna lie.
I'm going to try and get an 80s cartoon into every show now. You've already done that with Thundercats, but...
don't you? Well, I got He-Man in my back pocket. Dear me. It's like dealing with kids, isn't it? I mean, I do you know what, actually, just on London City, I'm not sure. I mean, I've heard some people somewhere, I can't remember, we're liking them a little bit to MK Dons, but I don't see it in the same way. I quite like the fact that they're trying to create something in the manner that they are with London City. Am I just being sort of like a little bit pie in the sky and head in the clouds, or is it a good thing that they're trying to do?
They're like you create a team on FIFA.
Yeah. But they haven't got around to creating any fans yet.
It's like before the graphics were updated.
You know what it is, though? I'm going to London City Lionesses a week on Sunday. I'm really excited to see how many fans I've actually got.
Get a photo next to the big wooden man in the stands.
The big wooden man, that's not a euphemism for anyone who doesn't know. But yeah, take a picture. See if you can do one of them pano pictures on your iPhone. and let us know how many. Don't just get one guy standing there and just legging it down.
No, just insert all the Claire's in as like all the.
Yeah.
Like you know those FIFA crowds where they've only got 3 fans and they just keep repeating them. If you zoom in on that, it'd be like that.
It's like, do you remember when COVID hit and they had the wrestling on and had WrestleMania with all the fans on the television screens? They'd be like, oh, aren't they?
That should be Claire. I mean, I quite like it. I like the idea of it, and
I like the
London
idea of
City.
having a lot of Claires at London City Lionesses. I've got to be
In all
tired.
the coats.
I hope Sam's still listening. There's something for Where's Claire whenever it returns.
Sam's just said.
She could be all of the fans here. That would be, but not just like drop in like 3 or 4, or like literally like Sam copy and paste like 1,000 of the thing the ladies in. I nearly lost it. I nearly forgot who I was for a moment. Then loads of Claires, like 8,000 Claires, all in like some cloning vat gone mad. It's like the apocalypse. It's going to be crazy. What's their capacity? Because Claire has, she does.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Yeah,
in theory, it's about 4,000, which is about 3,899 more than London have ever got. So, there's lots of room for expansion.
It would not shock me, like, because obviously with Sunderland, we're flying high and everything like that. We've started our own, like, football fans on Facebook and everything like that. And there's quite a lot of people in the group. It would not shock me if there was more Sunderland fans and London City fans there next week. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm still excited to go. So there we are.
Well, good times. And the next game we'll look at fleetingly. Durham. There's another song reference in there. Durham 2, Blackburn 2.
This is a really cartoon there as well.
I tell you what, I'm showing my age all day. And how did that game make you feel?
I would have been better if Blackburn had got a winner at the end, to be honest with you. But it's a game, 2 sides I think are on the beach. They're the only 2 sides I think in the league that have got absolutely nothing to play for. They're both not going to go down. They're both not going to go up. And it happens in the Championship because obviously it used to be 1 up, 1 down. So round about this time last season, there was probably out of the 12 teams in the league, probably 10 who had nothing to play for. Whereas now, it was only them 2. And it was pretty much what I expected. I put a draw in a particular league that I'm in. I thought it would be a draw, but I had it down as 1-1. But yeah, I mean, Beth Heppel scored a nice goal, to be fair, for Durham. And it's good to see her back from injury because she's a good footballer, even though Durham have got quite a bad reputation. But Blackburn have been funny because Blackburn started off so well this season and have just fallen away. But yeah, like I say, it was just one of them ones where you can kind of notch it up as a predictable draw. But Freya's in the chat, so there we go.
I was gonna say it's Mama Bear. Hey, party people! That they've missed you. They've had to pull up with me all evening. She misses you all. That's lovely, isn't it? They've had to pull up with me. Freya, I've had song references, cartoon references, 80s cartoon references.
Being proud, embarrassed, and angry at the same time.
I tell you what, they're thinking, Christ, get this dickhead off. Where's Mama Bear? We need you. This lunatic's leading us down some strange conversation paths. But so we'll stick on the football. Incidentally, we are sorry, Freya, that you had to pull up with that game this evening. We feel for you. We do feel for you.
We do. No one likes to lose heavily, especially traveling all that way. Yeah, especially traveling all that way and losing heavily. It's horrible.
I'll look at Spenny in the chat. Josh is my even more of a best friend with the cartoon references. Well, it's just how I roll. It's how I roll. I got to about 8 and stopped aging mentally. But Crystal Palace and Birmingham were postponed, as was Watford and Charlton for reasons I don't know. Does anybody know? Because I don't know.
Yeah, both have waterlogged pitches.
Yeah.
I've been quite a lot down London dinner over the weekend, but they're both waterlogged pitches. Obviously, with Palace and Watford playing it I think Watford played Maids? No, the Wealdstone, don't they? So that's obviously a non-league ground, and then Crystal Palace play at Barnet, I think.
Sutton.
Am I right, Paul?
Sutton,
that's the one. Yeah,
used to be Bromley.
Yeah, so Palace play at what is going to be a non-league club next season, and Watford play at a non-league club now. So obviously the pitches were not great. I think Blackburn only survived a late one. They had to delay the kickoff for like 15 minutes or so, just to give it like everything that they could possibly get.
Someone out there with their pitchfork in it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Come on, drain you, bitch. Come on.
That's a very different podcast you've just come up with there.
This is why I shouldn't be allowed to do things sometimes. For everyone that's went Freya's back next week, don't you worry.
Literally every time now I see the ground staff out with the pitchforks, I'm literally just going to shout, "Drain, you bitch!" When you kicked out.
That's a meme for waterlogged pitches. That's just. Can we clip that, Sam? If you're in the chat, can we just clip that every time a game's postponed? Just
all of us going, drain, you bitch. Shit a whim. I broke myself.
You okay? Josh is the one who sat there like, oh, I'm not feeling well. I only want to do an hour. We'll just do as much as we can tonight.
All I can see is all these blokes going like, stop it, bastard toe, you dick. Oh no, what's happened? Oh, I think Simon's yes. We need Freya back. We do. Right. Anyway, football, and this is the last game for Anthony. Of course, it's for Anthony. Sunderland. No, I'm going to take a stab at it. Not at the pitch. How did that game make you feel?
Sorry, I've just seen the chat. Sorry. Look at Sam. You're going to get that on a late night pee.
It's basically Josh and me in the morning, isn't it?
I'm getting to that age. I am getting to that age. Come on!
It feels so much of an anticlimax talk about Sunderland being top of the league now, isn't it? Let's just finish. Sunday England qualifying group.
This is all we need.
Can I just say, Mary McAteer scoring for Sunderland. Danger Mouse.
There we are.
There you go. We'll get that one in.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, I was over the moon. Absolutely over the moon.
I was so happy. I tell you, my happiness.
But
I am overjoyed.
Obviously, Southampton have come with this. You know what? I think they thought they'd won before we'd actually played that game. I think they've come up because they beat us in the FA Cup not long ago, about 6 weeks ago, and actually did the number on us, to be fair, with Katie Wilkinson scoring 2 really, really good goals. And I thought just have to do that again. And then we were just so resilient at the back. Amy Goddard, who we signed from Oxford, who we've got a wonderful song about at the minute. I'm not going to sing it, or should I sing it?
As long as it doesn't have any obscene obscenities.
No, she's big, she's hard, she's better than Renard. Goddard, yes. Goddard. I mean, she was just unbelievable. And Josh, I don't know if you've seen her before, but she's this tall, that tall, very tall. She won everything, every header. And then for me, the sign of the season for in the entire championship has been Tash Fenton from Blackburn. What a footballer that girl is. You know, she goes so unnoticed in games, but she does all the dirty work. You know, wins the ball back. You know, starts the play. You know, recycles the ball. She was absolutely outstanding, and we very, very quickly won the midfield battle. Her and Molly Rouse and Jenna Dia just absolutely destroyed their midfield in the second half, and then we only had one shot on target. But I've always said this in football: you only need one shot, and that's it. And Mary McAteer from the edge of the box, absolute blaster into the top corner. You don't see me running along the pitch because I was coming back from the toilet. Drain, you bastard! But no, and then we really resolutely held on. You know, they've forced Claudia Morn into one very good save, but every other thing was just routine. And then, you know, at the end of the game, Southampton fans are saying that we've cheated, we've done this, we've done that. Oh, fair play to you. I think that's the 7th time Southampton have lost this season, the 7th time that certain Southampton fans have said that the opposition has cheated. So, I mean, there's got to be a common denominator somewhere. But absolutely over the moon, mate. We're 4 points clear. We've got 5 games left. Yes, there's teams who've got games in hand. And at the weekend, Charlton and Palace both play at home to teams that are down there. But they've got to win them. And we've seen in this championship all season that anyone can beat anyone. So the thing is, like, literally on Sunday, I think, Paul, you posted the league table. And I was literally looking at it and I was like, for some reason, I was at work, sat at work, no one else, like, football, I sat there with tears in my eyes. Like, how the hell is this happening? You know, this is a team that isn't even fully professional yet. And just how proud that I am of this football club at the minute. And everything that, you know, the men aren't doing, the women are. And you know what? I just really hope that I'm still like kind of thinking there's going to be twists and turns, and there probably will be. But imagine if we did it, though. I mean, it would be absolutely unreal. It'd be one of those great football stories of Sunderland FC finally getting back to WSL where we belong, and it's absolutely so good. I cannot wait for next Sunday when we go to London. You know, like myself and Charlotte from the Away Pod, we're going every game until the end of the season now. So that's like 3 trips to London in 6 weeks. But I'm just so happy. You know what I mean? I'm absolutely over the moon that they're doing so well. And no matter what happens, we're proud. We're just so proud of them. And that's better than being proud, embarrassed, and angry all at the same time. But it's just class, mate. You know, it just, like I said, just considering where we've been, and obviously, if you don't know the story about Sunderland, you know, we got kicked out of the league and got dropped 2 divisions, and then, like, we were absolutely storming the 3rd tier. We needed one more win, and then COVID hit, and we ended up, you know, losing a lot of players, you know, who went to teams in the championship and stuff. And then we're finally on our way back. And if it doesn't happen this season, I've got absolutely full, you know, faith in Mel, Rain, Steph, Libby that it'll happen next year. So I'm absolutely chuffed, to be honest.
It's lovely to see a happy Sunderland fan. I've only mainly seen you guys on Netflix, and they ain't particularly overenthralled with stuff.
I mean, I'm just so glad I'm not in America. It would have been like sort of contrast of emotions. It's like the 2 different things. I can't wait for the season to end for the men's team, but I just do not want this football season to end for the women. Just for the whole league. It's been week after week. There's been a story. And week after week, there's been change. Week after week, there's been teams, you know, causing these upsets. And like I say, like, you know, where else do you get, like, 2 weeks ago, me running around the pitch when we score a last-minute winner over Lewis? You know, it's absolutely crazy.
And it's nice you can do it at the women's game as well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how many fans you get at the Sunderland men these days, but
you can't run around the perimeter. But even the fans on Sunday, I mean, like, there was only 435 at the Lewis game. And in this one, we've got 750. So there's 400 more people have come on the back of the Lewis game. And hopefully, obviously, we've got Durham in a couple of weeks, which is a local derby. Hopefully, that'll hit about 1,500, 1,600. Then we've got Charlton, which is a top of the table clash. So I just can't wait. Yeah, Away the Lasses.
And for everyone listening on audio, it is Away the Lasses, Dare to Dream. It's and it's really lovely. And for everybody, here's the table. Sunderland. So it is Sunderland top, 17 played 34 points, and I don't want to say second place. Crystal Palace 15 games played and 30 points, because that sort of that drains on your parade.
No. It's not going to win them though, Josh. You know what I mean? Like, Palace is still my favourites to go up. In the others score so many goals, got a fantastic team, but they've got to win both of them games, and we've got them last game of the season. So it could come down to that Palace are above us by 2 or 3 points, but 1 or 2 points by the last game, and we can still win that game and go up. So I think it just puts us in a wonderful position at the minute.
And in fairness, and look at that, second, third, and fourth, all on 30 points. Two teams with 2 games in hand, and I mean, Birmingham in fifth on 26 points.
Yeah,
only 4 points behind fourth, again with 2 games in hand.
And one of Palace's games in hand is against Birmingham. So one of them teams, or both, need to drop points. And I to be honest, looking at the league now, I think I don't think I'm going to be proved wrong, but I think Birmingham have done it. There are too many games to play and too many points to catch. Southampton now need to win every game, and I don't think they'll do that. I think it's between us, Palace and Charlton. And to say that if someone had given me that at the start of the season, I'd have literally put him into the local mental hospital. I honestly would not have believed it, to be honest. And I think it's now down to us, because we've got the points. Palace and Charlton got the games in hand, and I think they're the 3 best teams in the league. So for what I've seen this season, so let's see what will happen. I mean, like I said, I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. Right?
Oh, it's exciting. It's the league to watch. It's the league to watch. Is the Women's Championship, and then down if we flip reverse, that's for you, Sam. If we flip reverse over to the lower end of the table, Watford 12th on 12 points. Lewis, 13 points. They have played an extra game above Watford, but the dream's alive. The dream's alive. With Reading above them with 15 points, 40 games played, and I did see a Reading playing Charlton at home on Sunday. So it's I don't know. You might want to get behind Charlton just for that one game. Just for that one game. There.
No, I want Reading. I want Reading to win.
I tried, Lewis.
I'm sorry, Lewis, but I think Lewis will catch. One of London or Sheffield United. So, I think Watford, the way they're going, it would not shock me if the 2 that go down aren't the current 2. It would shock me if they both get out of it, and 2 of the others, because Sheffield United are on such a bad run, and the whole atmosphere along the place is just dead. To be honest, it's just gone. London, they won the other day, but they've played a lot of games more, and they've probably still got to keep the trajectory going. And then Reading, they're just a funny team that can win one week, lose the next. They are a strange side, so just wouldn't chop us off them. So.
I want Reading and Sheffield United to go down. That's what I would like.
Yeah. That would be for Reading, I'll probably be the end of them as a club, because they're just the amount of money that's
drain on my parade. I feel bad.
Yeah, but it probably will be. It probably will be. They've had to go to part time this season because there's just no money going in. We're seeing what's happening with Reading men at the minute.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's obviously good. People down the women's team. Sheffield United. Again,
I forgot all about that. Didn't you put up that Reading? I forgot all about that. I feel like a right turd now. Apologies, Reading fans. I don't want you to go down. I don't. Just Sheffield United. Just switch it to one team going down, and that will make everyone happy.
Yeah, probably agree. To be honest, because let's have London go down with them as well.
No, and you're gonna have all their fans after you now.
All 3 of them.
They can gang up in the car park. But I mean, that takes us to the end of all the domestic games. I mean, we will fleetingly, as soon as we're here, we'll fleetingly touch on, because it was mentioned in the comments. If I can find the swine, where he is, there we are. Spenny fan Chris mentioned the Lionesses group. I can't remember if Paul referred to it as a group of death. I don't think people are dying in there, so that might be a bit extreme. But a difficult group for football. France, England, Sweden, and the Republic of Ireland. I mean, Paul, you did mention this before we conclude. What do you think of that that group? Is that doable, or is that just a horrible pig of a group?
It's an absolute group of death. 3 of the top 5 teams in the world in one group.
How does that happen?
If that came out at an actual tournament, people would be going, bloody hell. That's 3 potential winners of that tournament in one group.
So just because, I'm not really that privy to how they draw these. Is that because England had such a poor Nations League? Or is it? Yeah.
I think
So really, it's their own fault.
Yeah, and the silly thing is, in the A-League, it's basically weighted in favour of the big nations anyway. Because even if they don't, in the lower leagues, it's you've got to finish in the top 2 or you're screwed. In the A-League, it's finish in the top 2 for automatic qualification, then you go into the playoffs. And so, it's not a disaster if England finish third, but I just think it'll be interesting because there's a whole
in your bucket.
There's a whole generation almost of football fans who haven't really seen London Toulouse.
I'm such a child.
Like I was just
It's going to be singing, "You're never coming on my podcast ever again."
I just thought I would rise.
Oh, you rise above it. Don't come down to my level. Don't come down to my.
I don't want to drain the goodwill out of this. That's...
You bitch.
But speaking of goodwill, you see, seamless segue. What I'm saying is, there's this whole Lionesses FC thing about a whole bunch of people who haven't seen the England women's football team struggle. They've got all the good feeling around it, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens if the Lionesses go on a bit of a bad run. If you get the media turn on them, if you get the crowds turn on them who've only been used to them winning, if you get, because let's face it, as English football fans, we're not exactly the most forgiving lot, are we?
You English.
That'll happen with the women.
To be fair though, like looking at the draw as well, and this will probably interest Josh. Wales have got quite a doable group: Croatia, Kosovo, and Ukraine. I'll fancy the watch to go that.
I was going to ask, because obviously, I mean, my women's football knowledge is nowhere near the same as you guys. I know it exists in some areas. So is that a doable group?
For me, I think they can get all that. Yeah. All that. Quite interesting as well. Like in two of them sides, obviously Wales we've mentioned before. Have got Mary McAteer, the Sunderland winger, and Kosovo have Sunderland striker Liza Juby playing there. So they both represent the countries, and they're both best mates at Sunderland. So that'll be great. There was a lovely photo of them watching the draw together, and then they obviously got pulled out together. So that was class. So that'll be great. But I think they can get out. I'd be more confident being a Welsh fan than I would be an England fan, to be honest, at the moment. Because that is a horrible group. Really.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be an England fan.
Wales signing Rhian Wilkinson as well. That is a hell of a managerial appointment.
Yeah.
Yes, good manager.
How have they managed that?
Who knows? Money.
Wales got money?
Part of it might be because she was the reason that she didn't have a job is because she was Portland manager of the NWSL, and then she left. She resigned from that job because she felt she'd lost the dressing room, and it was a bit of a sad story because, from what you can gather, she and a player had developed feelings for each other, and so she had done everything right and gone to the authorities and said, "Listen, there might be a conflict of interest here because I am, in a relationship. I might be in a relationship with a player under my care, so I'm submitting myself for investigation and to show everything's being done properly." But apparently it caused so much tension in the dressing room that she said, "Do you know what? I don't feel I've done anything wrong. I've done everything possible, but
because what's love got to do with it?"
Basically, yeah. You're just wincing, but So she's now free, and to give her credit, she's been open about this. Whenever anybody have asked her, there was this questionable bit, she's been open and said, "Yeah, this is what happened. This is how I dealt with it. I felt that I needed to step down." And the Welsh FA have obviously seen this and gone, "Do you know what? She's the girl, and she is, and she will be an amazing manager for Wales."
Do you think that they've offered a mixture of embarrassment, proudness, and sadness all at the same time?
Well, do you know what I think? I think they look at it. I think they looked at it and went, "You're the one that I want. You are the one I want." Weird.
Was that 15? We've broken.
There's got to be like a Welsh connection in there, as what Alice just said there, because Rihanna is a Welsh name, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
the name is very well.
Her parents are from Wales, or when she was young, she grew up somewhere in Wales, or she watched the movie Free Willy with Wales. She likes dragons. She watched Game of Thrones, and she liked the dragon, and that's like whatever. I don't mind. I'll take it all. And Simon's obviously enjoying all the musical interlude. And who doesn't want Freya back? Obviously. I want Freya to come back because I'm just embarrassing myself at this stage. But I mean, but in a word, we'll go around before we conclude. In a word, Anthony, can England can they be victorious in this group?
Yeah, of course they can. Yeah, I'd still have them. I'd have them getting out of that group. I think it's difficult, but I'd rather have these teams to play than going. And I always think this is the problem with the men's kind of side of things, where that England are going to qualify for every men's tournament because the groups are so easy. I like this kind of format where you can get drawn against the best teams in in Europe. To be fair, and if they get out, the thing is, they get out of that group. I know that there's qualifiers, playoffs, this, that, and the other, but they possibly could have eliminated one of their biggest competition in the trophy. So fair play, and be fair as well. We've not really mentioned Republic of Ireland will be a spoiler in that group as well, because they're no mugs as well. They've still got a good side. So it's for me, every game is going to be for England anyway. It's going to be like a cup final because all eyes are on England because of the oldest. So yeah, I still have them as favourites to get out of the group. I'm really, really looking forward to it, to be fair.
And the Republic of Ireland, they're no scrubs because we don't want no scrubs. And Chloe, do you think England are going to get out of this group?
Yeah, I do. I mean, these are teams that they've beaten before. They beat Sweden in the Euros. They've played Republic of Ireland a couple of times and they've beaten them. So I think it's doable. And in Serena we trust. I mean, I've got glasses like her, so obviously we are fully team Serena over here.
Was that deliberate? Did you go with the Specsavers not give me the Serenas?
Yeah, obviously. We've got to back our girl, don't we?
Love it. Paul, we're loving it like that. Of England getting out of this group?
Yes, but I think in second place.
Minor dissent in voice.
I think the games against Ireland, like Ant says, they're going to play spoilers in the group. Those are going to be the key ones.
Yeah.
If they drop points against Ireland, there's a real problem. That was a bit harsh, Simon. As well.
It's truth, though. I can live. I can live with the truth. I embrace it. But I think that's us. We've spoken about all this football. We've covered most of the songs that I can think of, cartoons, cartoon characters, and of course, most importantly, women's football. I like to think we've covered it all the weekend's excitement. So Anthony, everybody's probably loved you. They probably loved you this season. I need more of this man. Where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter at @_Waterson, which is soon going to get changed to Drain the Bitch. But if you want to find, you can follow us on @_Waterson if you want. But if you want to find where I'm most active on, it is at HowiePod, which is on the little name thing there. That is the Sunderland Women's football podcast. Really, you can catch us on every Monday. We do unfortunately share a time with the brilliant Absolute Premier League show. But, if you want to come and listen to some women's football and me talk absolute rubbish, then feel free. But that's the two things I'm most active on. Well, yeah, thank you very much for having us again. I really enjoyed myself.
And Chloe Bear. Chloe, where can everybody find you for your musings?
So I am on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at ChloeBear529.
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
Where's the 5? What's the 529? That's not like nearly your PIN code for your debit card, is it?
No, it's just a random it's just some random letters, but the Chloe Bear is what my nanny used to call me. So it's just kind of stuck.
Is there honestly another 528 people called Chloe Bear on Twitter?
Who knows? It's just some random numbers that I just like.
Oh, fair enough. It's not like it can't be a date of birth or anything of it. I just thought maybe she missed out the number 1, and that's her pin code. I'm going to rob you and meet up next. And Paul, where can people find you, Paul? Where art thou? Mr. Radio?
You can find me on Twitter and indeed on Blue Sky, which is where everybody will end up when Twitter eventually breaks. At there, where am I pointing? Wrong side. There we go. At Paul W Radio, where I'm usually yelling about Coventry City or women's football, in that order.
Or Mark Skinner.
Or Mark Skinner, yeah. But I might do a little bit less of that. Just you know.
Oh, don't give it up. Don't give it up, mate. Don't yield. Never yield.
It's the best for hashtag engagement when you talk about Mark Skinner, though. You get loads of Man United fans retweeting you and enjoying it. So you know
that's what it's about. It's all about the hashtag game. And of course, if you want to follow me, silly Billy, I am at 80s cartoon. I'm not at absolutely Josh _ but the main thing is, please, everybody that has been watching, and thank you so much. I don't know if anybody's realized it, but we've been rocking over 120 viewers live on Twitter all the way through the show. So it's been really fabulous. Thank you everybody for joining us. But I do ask, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you do subscribe, because every time you hit that subscribe button, an angel gets its wings, which is such a beautiful thing to see. And but if please do follow the podcast on Twitter. We are at Absolute Ball Pod on YouTube and Twitch at Absolute Football Podcast, and on the tick boom, we have at Absolute Football Pod, and Instagram and Threads, if that's a thing still, Absolute Football Podcast _, and on the Book of Faces, the Faceless Man Facebook, we are the Absolute Football Podcast, live on Mondays at 8:30, where we cover all the Premier League. On Wednesdays this evening, as you have seen, it's normally hosted by someone who is much more organised, much more well-behaved and informed. Mama Bear Freya will be covering us Wednesdays 8:30. We do the WSL, and tomorrow the award-winning Rowdy Rabble, absolutely lower league, headed by the mighty Charlotte, will be there. Please make sure that you join us. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for watching. Everybody in the chat, there's so many of you this evening. If I try to name names, I will forget names, and then I will feel bad. I won't be able to sleep, and it'll just disturb me, and it'll wreck my day tomorrow. So know that we love you all. We love you all dearly. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for joining us. And from the Absolute Football Podcast, drain your